Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the candidate debates for APPNA election 2021. This is the first debate of this season. Tomorrow will be for the secretary and the day after will be for the president. As you know, we have two candidates and we all welcome Dr. Joseph Emmanuel and Dr. Tayyib Rana. Let me just refresh the rules one more time so that to refresh our memory. So there will be 2 minutes for opening statements from both of you, and then 2 minutes for the closing remarks at the end. 2 minutes for each question to answer, and question will be same for both of you. And I will alternate between two of you so that everybody has an equal chance. Then 1 minute for rebuttal if you want to add anything later on for the same question. I will give 10 seconds warning that your time is up so that we can finish on time to be fair with everybody. And I hope everything will be smooth technically. Nick is with us to help us around. If there is any technical issue, hopefully not, and everything will go smooth. So the way we will do is we'll start by the last name for that. By that criteria, Dr. Joseph Emmanuel. So he is first. So Joseph, you go ahead and have your opening statement, please.
All right, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself to APPNA family. My name is Dr. Joseph Emmanuel. I'm the Sindh Medical College graduate of 1984. I born in Rawalpindi, finished my high school in Rawalpindi, came to Karachi, actually I was saying New York. Karachi with my family and attended pre-medical St. Patrick College. I finished my MBBS from St. Medical College. And I am the geriatric and adult psychiatrist. My training was done in St. Vincent Hospital, Manhattan. And tomorrow is a very tragic day for me, September 11. I was there and September 11, Tariq was there too, I know. And we suffered with this trauma. We were the first trauma center in New York, 7th Avenue and 12th Street. And we were the biggest trauma center. So still have flashback of those things. And I'm a psychiatrist. So I was not allowed to go back home for 4 days. My wife was surrounded by a local and they were blaming my wife because she's lighter than me. And she said, you Arabic people, you are responsible for this. And it was also, we were scared of our life. I was scared to travel in subway. That, is deja vu again. But it's my honor to serve APPNA for the last 24 years. First time I met with Dr. Arif Muslim in 1989, I was standing on his beautiful home on Hudson River. I asked why, Arif, why you don't give the membership to SMC? But that's because you don't have 25 paid members. And that was 1989. And today we have 400 paid members of APPNA. So my journey is long. I was honored to work with Dr. Paracha in 2006. I was the first.
10 seconds, Joseph.
I was the executive council member 2006, 2007, and I have membership committee chair 2013, 16, and publication committee chair 2018.
Okay, Joseph, thank you. Dr. Tayyib Rana, 2 minutes, opening statements.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tariq. Assalamu alaikum, colleagues, APPNA family. I want to thank all of you for taking the time to join us at this debate this evening. My name is Tayyib Rana. I'm a practicing ophthalmologist in Northern Virginia. I'm a NAMA graduate. I graduated from West Virginia University and did my residency on the East Coast. I'm running for the position of APPNA Treasurer 2022 in the upcoming APPNA election. I'd like to share my vision for APPNA with you and hopefully inspire you to not just support me, but more importantly, join me for a better future for APPNA. As the son of a Pakistani graduate who was a member of APPNA, my interest in this organization goes back to my childhood days, where I used to attend APPNA conferences. APPNA provided a beautiful forum where Pakistani physicians and their families in America could come together for social networking, education, community building, and much, much more. These brief but important gatherings would have a definite role to play in my development as a Pakistani American. APPNA gatherings were especially important for the vast number of Pakistani physicians and their families who do not reside in metropolitan hubs. The educational and humanitarian endeavors that APPNA would partake in became instrumental in expanding the role of the Pakistani physician in North America, and that's now a very respected history and an ongoing American success story. I mention this because it illustrates what I feel APPNA has been and should remain, and that is a Pakistani American institution. Institutions are the vital organs on which societies not only survive, but also flourish and grow strong. However, in order to achieve that strength, institutions like vital organs must be cared for meticulously and with the utmost sincerity. By doing so, there is both individual and collective success, which leads to further innovation and progress. APPNA is one of our community's most important institutions, no doubt. There's no denying this. It served a very important role in the successful establishment and networking of thousands of physicians and their families in North America. With this success came the ability to serve the greater society, not only in healthcare and scientific endeavors, but in social welfare, education, and even in the formulation of a better public. Help me to make APPNA better. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, first question will be with Dr. Emmanuel. How much experience do you have for your role as a trader, given the fact that it needs a sound sense of financial management in and out? Joseph, 2 minutes.
Yeah, I have tremendous experience. It is on my CV. It was my honor to work with the leaders of APPNA. I was elected as 2013 as a chair of membership committee. I have honor to raise $750,000 endowment fund. That's a lot of money. I was able to add 700 new lifetime members. This is a record, nobody can break it, and I don't think so it can be broken. So I have participated. I am the person who increased the money on endowment fund, and this endowment fund has grown bigger up to $4 million right now. And I was talking to treasurer, they borrowed the money from the earning they got from endowment fund in 2020 because they didn't have operation expenses to pay. So I have a vision. I have a track record to prove that I can raise money, I can motivate people, I can increase APPNA in a stronger, bigger position. And my vision is to make 5,000 members. And this is my lifelong mission, and I want to do it, and I will increase more money. It will bring maybe 2 million more in endowment fund.
Okay, thank you, Joseph. Dr. Rana, 2 minutes.
Thank you, Dr. Sadiq. My background with business training, and also as somebody who started their own medical practice and corporation right out of training, gave me a great deal of success, a great deal of experience, and also served as a launching pad for what I would do later with many of my nonprofit organizations that I served in. I've served in major national and international nonprofit organizations at the board level. I've dealt with fundraising myself. For example, I was at Zaytuna College before it became Zaytuna College. It was a small sit-down institution, and I was one of the foremost leaders that helped raise over $1 million over a course of a short few years to launch it into an accredited college and university. In addition to that, I've served on other organizations which are listed on my CV, and frequently I was tasked with the commission of fundraising. As you know, when you serve on these nonprofit organizations, fundraising is one of the key fundamental duties that many of these organizations face and require you to do. But this experience, along with this business education that I acquired at Northwestern University, I think sets me up prime time to help APPNA launch to the next level as well. I've talked about this, that there are many opportunities for revenue growth and distribution. Now, revenue for a nonprofit organization is not like generating profits. That's not the game that we're in, but it's to continue and expand upon the social, educational, medical, and charitable work that we do as an organization. There's lots of untapped resources that we haven't even looked at. For example, I mentioned even a year ago that there are grants available at the federal, state level that we have not branched into. Also, by expanding our member base. Joseph nicely said that he added 700 members. That's amazing.
10 seconds.
Joseph, let's not forget that the lifetime membership fee was reduced to almost half when those members were added. And therefore, that was a great thing to do. I applaud the president that did it, and I applaud you for raising those members.
Okay. Thank you. Joseph, 1 minute to rebuttal if you want to say anything else. Same question.
I respect the services of Dr. Tayyib Rana, but those services are for other organizations, not for APPNA. I don't need job training. I have experience, I have proven record. And the lifetime dues, what was reduced was not half. It was 1875, and it went to 1,125. In 1875, in 36 years, how many members we have lifetime? 1,200. Our growth is 30 lifetime member per year. We give the vision, we drop it, people responded to it. And we got 700 lifetime member. We improved the endowment fund that we are using right now. So I have experience. I don't need job training. I'm ready to go as a treasurer of APPNA. This is my record.
Okay. Thank you, Joseph. Dr. Rana, 1 minute.
Yeah, I think job training is absolutely necessary. You can't go on some kind of theoretical wish that you're going to know how to run an organization from a financial perspective when you haven't done that. Fundraising alone isn't enough. There's a fiduciary responsibility for using the funds, allocating the funds, using them in an efficient manner and using them in a productive manner. So having background in of not just acquiring revenue, but using revenue for very, very productive outcomes is very important. And that takes experience in education and training. And also let me add that the reason the growth became stagnant in APPNA over the last many years was not because of the 1875, it was because the lack of the return on membership value for what they paid for membership. So this is very important. We have to change what APPNA offers to our community so that our growth will continue.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Rana. The second question will go to Dr. Rana. Do you have specific ideas to improve the financial health of APPNA, given the fact that COVID has affected our revenue collection very badly?
I think, yes, thank you for that. So first of all, a very hot topic amongst nonprofit organizations right now are what are called diversity officers. And it's not diversity in terms of what the constituency or the membership is. It's diversity in handling the various ways in which members or even workers within an institution can continue to flourish under changing conditions. So one of the things that I would like is to form, if I had the ability to do so, a small subcommittee that looks at the circumstances that the organization is facing to help come and bring about novel ways to increase revenue and survival during that period of time. Actually, that's one of the responsibilities of a board, and it's written actually in our own bylaws that the responsibility of the board is to ensure the survivability of an organization. So what I would like to do, let's start with membership also. We have to offer membership something that creates value for them. I've mentioned in my posting today via the NEC that we should do things like, for example, create a biotech or a medical bioinformatics incubator where young entrepreneurs can come forward, pay a fee to APPNA to pitch their ideas, and not only can APPNA benefit from this, but if these ideas take off through investment, this gives APPNA a better name, and it gives a great opportunity for these young businesses to flourish. Second of all, again, I talk about the grants. We have not utilized grants the way that we should, and grants provide survivability to any nonprofit organization. In fact, that's how lots of nonprofits did survive during this COVID crisis, by applying for these institutional grants, which were used for very, very novel purposes and expanded the actual mission of these organizations. Thank you.
Thank you. Joseph, 2 minutes.
Yeah, so I have different ideas. I agree with the Dr. Tayyab Rana, some suggestions. First of all, we have to make APPNA attractive to the membership. We should produce the result that we care about them. And I say charity start from home. We should provide legal services and other services to solve our professional life problem as a physician. We should start for our own membership before we start working for other people. We are not doing it. We should do this. This is one of the project. I will try my best to get it done. Number two, we should collaborate, work with American Medical Association, APA, American Psychiatric Association, and other professional organizations to advertise our mission in their journals, to attract new investors, donors. See, everything based on your membership. This is a democratic country. If your numbers is low, 2,000 or something, nobody cares about you. I want to raise the membership so people can attract, the donors can attract, a lot of charity organizations who can participate in it. If I'm investor, I will see how many members are present in the organization, how much money I can make, so I can invest the money. This is one of the reasons we are lacking for this. We are not doing it. We're closing our organization. We're putting our membership in dark. We're not involving it. This is not good. That's why I'm not fighting for the APPNA membership. That's why I'm contesting.
Thank you, Joseph. Dr. Rana, 1 minute for rebuttal.
Yeah, I want to add that, yeah, I agree with Joseph that expanding the membership base is critical. But we have to absolutely look at the fact that our legacy membership is an aging population. And that's not a bad thing. That brings great wisdom and experience to the organization, which is incredible. But to expand the membership, we have to do what we haven't done at this point. We have to bring new members and bring a lot of these members from the very country in which we are existing. We have to bring members from North America, United States, Canada, Caribbean. And we have to revisit how we attract young Pakistani graduates who are still coming in significant numbers, though not the numbers that used to be, but we have to make APPNA attractive for them. Many of them don't even know what APPNA is. So yes, membership has to increase, but we have to engage those very groups that we have not been engaging up to this point. That's very important.
Thank you, Tayyab. The next question will go to Joseph. How will you reach across the aisle as a team player to work well with other executive team members? Joseph.
Yeah, it fits my personality. Tariq, you know that. The APPNA members know that. I don't have any personal grudges against others. I'm a well-liked person from both sides. On one hand, I have a great friend, Dr. Pracha. He always looked for me in the meeting. He said, I was looking for you. On the other hand, if I have Javed Sulaiman, Nasir Quraishi, they are my great friend. I take the pictures of everybody. I make sure I take picture of Sajid Chaudhary, Dr. Pracha, and others. And if I need some help and advice, I go to Dr. Pracha and I ask him. And I also go to Nasir Quraishi, Javed Sulaiman, and others to ask the help. I am the person who can build the bridge. One of the reasons why the people are losing interest because of political bickering we have. We put our personal ego inside, in front of us. We don't care about interest of organization. I want to put APPNA interest first than my personal ego. This is my personality. I'm the best person who can bring the unity in this APPNA, who can grow this APPNA in different level. And people will know that I have challenged APPNA leaders multiple times. Focus on the membership. The people who have a candidate that have interest is only 1 year. My interest is forever. And when I challenged them in Arizona, and somebody said this speech should be broadcast on all over, and one of my good friends said, Don Nasser Gondal wrote, "Ishq mein kya kya kiya hai aur kya kya nahi karenge." Yeah, really my ishq is for APPNA and want to do everything to bring this organization for the level it deserves. This is my goal.
Thank you, Joseph. Ji, Dr. Rana.
Yeah, this is this is an extremely important question. So when we think of the organization and how we're going to promote unity, the first thing we have to do is take names out of our minds. Leaders in organizations look at these institutions from a selfless point of view. And when you're selfless, you have to shed so many cloths that you wear over yourself, whether that's your alumni, whether that's your ideological background, whether that's your religious background, whether that's your country background. These things have to come off, and you have to look at the mission values of the organization. I want to use the example of my wonderful chapter, my home chapter of DMV. I cannot say enough about the unity that has been created in that chapter over the last many years. But it didn't come just by, some kind of automation. We worked on this unity. We promoted people to leadership positions and council member positions that didn't constantly talk about what alumni they were from, or what province of Pakistan they were from, or what state of the United States they were from. We didn't look at that. We looked at who was selfless, who would put forth the effort for the organization, who would go out and roll up their sleeves and sweat a little bit and put money out of their pocket to do the works of the organization. And when that happens from individuals, unity automatically forms because you gain the respect of those around you. And when you have that respect, these differences or these variances in opinions don't matter anymore because all of you are working towards one incredible goal. Look at what the wonderful work that the Social Welfare Disaster Relief Committee has done in the last 2 years at the central level with Aisha and Sajid. They formed an incredible community, they formed unity, and they raised so much money and did so much work that it's become a source of great pride. So, and we did this at APPNA DMV. We raised over $300,000. We did works in every field you can imagine, whether it was giving out groceries, giving out clothes, giving computers to children in schools. This happened because of a unified effort, because of selfless people.
Thank you, Tayyib. Joseph, 1 minute.
Yeah, I agree with Tayyib. I salute your services, sir, as a DMV member. I know it is separated now, and you're not happy with that. But beside that, I think unity is very important for this organization. And I'm lucky enough that they give me opportunity to lead APPNA. Even I belong to religious minority, but APPNA gave me respect. They give me a chance to be chair of membership committee, chair of membership committee twice, chair of publication committee, members of different committees. They give me a chance. I respect that. I'm very proud, a Pakistani-born, Pakistani-trained physician. And I am not saying APPNA will be proud to elect me. I'm saying I will be very proud if APPNA will elect me. This is my vision for unity and friendship. I love everybody on both sides. I don't keep my personal grudges on the political differences.
Thank you, Joseph.
This is my positive strength.
Thank you, Joseph. Dr. Rana, 1 minute.
Yeah, Joseph, I'm glad you brought up, actually, you mentioned something at the right at the beginning when you just started to talk, that now that there's a division and we're unhappy. So let me address that. Actually, I want to use that as a beautiful example of unity. So yes, there was the creation of a Maryland chapter out of the DMV region. And yes, many of us were in opposition to that in the beginning, but that chapter was created. And after that, for a while, whether we felt good about it or didn't feel good about it, the fact of the matter is we did not create conflict. I have a great deal of love and respect for those leaders in the Maryland chapter. I have friends over there who I really admire and seek advice from. And in fact, what our goal as a chapter is to work collaboratively with that chapter to achieve great things in the District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia. So I'm glad you brought that up, Joseph. There is absolutely no hatred. There's absolutely no hard feelings. I'm actually very happy and embrace those individuals and look forward to doing wonderful things.
Thank you, Tayyab. Okay, the next question will go to Dr. Rana. What pros and cons you have about the current code of conduct being implemented by APPNA this year?
Thank you, Tariq, for giving me an easy question, actually. I appreciate that. But when I say the code of conduct, the pros of it are something that I do appreciate. And that is that I feel it got too much for individuals to receive a constant barrage of text messages and telephone calls in the middle of the night, every single day for months on out. It was really just not pleasant. I personally did not like it. I didn't appreciate it. I know why it was happening, and I know candidates are eager to get their message and names out, but it becomes almost a violation of one's privacy and private time. So the fact that there was sort of this handcuff on not to call and text people individually as candidates, I welcome that. Now, the cons are that, for example, social media. Now, social media is something that doesn't really violate the privacy of others. Those who want to get on it can, and those who don't want to don't have to. But it's a way for candidates that are not from, especially who are not from big alumni, to get their name recognition out to the general membership. And I think that's been a handicap this year, that we've not been able to put out flyers and messages to the people to understand who we are as a candidate. Overall, I have a great deal of respect for the reforms that have taken, but I think somewhere that's a little less restrictive than we have been this year. I mean, I'm going to follow the rules this year, but maybe in the future, a little less restrictive so that we can get our message and names out in a better way, so that people don't have to go like they're in prohibition and doing it under the table and having friends call on behalf of them as proxies. I think that would be great. Just my respectful request.
Thank you, Tayyab. G. Joseph?
Yeah, I'm glad you're asking this question. I have a very clear opinion about my First Amendment rights, freedom of speech. I think by putting this code of conduct, my freedom of speech has been taken away, number one. Number two, I like some clause, as Tayyab said, the phone calls, abundant, expensive newsletter, brochures, emails. I don't like it. And I'm glad they restricted. First of all, I'm very happy they shortened the campaign duration. And that's why it cut down the expenses. I can't afford spending $100,000 for one campaign. For organization, for selfless job, I'm not getting any financial gain with that. I have to spend money. But as Tayyab also said, it needs to be modified. It's too restrictive. I see is a controlled democracy. If I say that, I feel I'm a puppet. And who's controlling me? Election Nomination Committee controlling me. I cannot say to my wife, I'm the candidate. Till NSC said, your husband is the candidate. It's so restrictive. I think need to be changed. I agree with Tayyab, we should let the media as a source for information because it does not violate anybody's privacy. Even constant contact cannot violate anybody's privacy. If you like the email, read it. If you don't, delete it or unsubscribe. But the phone calls, only one phone call should be allowed because I know I've been in the system for 20, 25 years. I know if people, the candidate do not call the
10
voters,
seconds, Joseph. Ji.
they don't respond to it. Suppose if my friend is contesting and they don't call me and somebody else called me, I will make a promise, then this my friend has lost the vote.
Okay, Joseph. Thank you. Thank you, Joseph. Jita, you have 1 minute.
Yeah, thank you, Tariq. I don't really want to rebuttal Joseph on anything because I agree with everything he just said. But I want to add just one other comment, and that is that that if we do go back at some point, let's say next year, if we go back to allowing social media and all that, I absolutely believe that there have to be social media reforms, because there is a lot of abuse that happens on social media, and it really can get out of control. I think several of us suffered from that even last year. And so if we do go back to any sort of retreat to the old ways, there need to be reforms in place. Thank you.
Ji, Joseph, 1 minute.
I have question about this code of conduct. I know it was, I think March 2nd when it was approved. The quorum was not even complete. There was 29 members. 14 members say yes. 15 almost said no because 12 said no. 3 was absent. So it means that 15, and it should be passed by 15 members, not the 14 members. And I was told that it was promised they will go back and look into the code of conduct, but it didn't happen. I wish they will do it, and I wish they will do it for next year.
Thank you, Joseph. Next question will go to Joseph. Tell us 2 of your strongest and 2 of your weakest points. Where would you like to improve yourself?
All right, the strongest is I'm the fearless warrior. I'm a fighter. If I'm right, I will stand for this. Nobody can back me down. I'll take the loss, but I will keep fighting. And I will keep fighting for APPNA members. You can trust me. This is me. I can speak out even if my brother is wrong, I will tell him you're wrong, because that's me. This is Joseph. And this is my history for the last 20 years. I'm a very independent person. I have my opinion. Even my friends, very close friends, are afraid of my independence because I know if they're wrong, I will tell them you guys are wrong. And it has happened. This is my strength. My weakness, I'm too much caring person. I'll take the loss for betterment and benefit for others. This is my history. I put other people benefit in front of me than myself. So this is my weakness. Could be is a strength too, but this is my weakness.
Okay. Thank you, Joseph. Jita,
I think I want to start with my weaknesses first. I think my biggest weakness is that I'm a NAMA graduate. Being a NAMA graduate in a Pakistani physician organization it truly puts me in a minority position. So the fact that I don't have an alumni of 200, 300, 400 or 1,000 people, it's a real disadvantage when a candidate comes into the elections, because automatically there are hundreds of votes that I have to go fight for very, very hard. The second thing that I find is a weakness is that, there are a lot of not following of the rules that happens within this organization. And I feel that even though I do raise my voice, I feel that I should probably be more persistent and actually try to lobby more individuals to raise their voice against the disobedience of those rules and regulations. Because even if small rules aren't followed, small rules lead to oceans of disobedience, and we can't afford that. Now, as for my strengths, my biggest strength is that my entire life I have been known as an extremely honest person of high moral and ethical values. And that's guided me through my life, whether it was in my social life, whether it was in my professional life, and now it's guided me through my years in APPNA. As I said, I've been involved in APPNA in some way or another since I was a child. And rising through the ranks, I've worked my way up from the ground, starting as a council member in APPNA DMV, then becoming the treasurer, then becoming the secretary, then becoming the president, the past president, and so on and so forth. And I've worked in the central organization on a number of committees. And if you ask anybody anybody in APPNA that has ever dealt with me, you will not find a single individual that will say that I was dishonest, that I looked after my own self-interest, or that I did anything to hurt the organization. Thank you.
Thank you, Tayyib. Joseph, 1 minute.
I had nothing to add. I think this man, is my respected opponent, has his strength, and he explained to me. But I have my example. People know me for the last 24 years. They don't have to judge me because they saw my behavior for during 24 years. People maybe they don't know my by name, but they can recognize my picture. Because whenever I have a meeting, I go to their table and give them respect and take picture of their family. I took thousands of pictures of those people, beautiful people of APPNA. They know that. And you won't be surprised if we'll win this election with landslide, because I trust the APPNA members. My wife said, don't contest because you're Christian. Maybe you get only your own vote. I said, no, because it happened when I contested St. Medical Alumni Association election. I got double the vote of my opponent, and won't be surprised if it happened again. The history can be repeated. I trust the membership of APPNA, their judgment. They're broad people, they're nice people, they're not fanatic. During this time, when we withdraw from Afghanistan, this political situation, I think APPNA, and I didn't need APPNA to represent APPNA family in this country.
Thank you, Joseph. Tayyib?
Yeah, I really believe, I agree with Joseph that the APPNA membership truly values good people to be part of their association and especially to be part of their leadership. I don't think religion plays any role here. As I said, that the issue of, if we were talking about minorities, then truly Nama, Caribbean, these are, and Canadian graduates, these are the most disadvantaged when it comes to trying to get positions of leadership so that they can put forth their novel ideas in expanding the organization. I do, however, also believe that the time has arrived where voices are crying out loud that they want qualified and fresh new ideas in the organization. And therefore, I'm very confident that I never will have to look at my being a NAMA graduate as a handicap, but I will see it actually as an opportunity, and an opportunity that the members of APPNA will seize upon. Thank you.
Thank you, Tayyib. Next question. It is for Tayyib, for you. Do you have any experience of risk management in organization finances, like APPNA?
Right. So when we look at risk management in nonprofit organizations, and specifically when it comes to finances, you usually look at it in terms of a couple of different subcategories. Okay, one would be that how would the organization handle a financial catastrophe? Now, those catastrophes can come by various means. So, for example, the pandemic, that's a catastrophe. But also, they can come by very, very unexpected avenues. For example, the database within APPNA's infrastructure of servers could be breached, and private information could be leaked, and that could be a huge financial setback for the organization. So when it comes to risk mitigation on these types of issues, I have dealt with those in my own practice. I have established safeguard protocols, though no protocol in this world can protect you from, for example, a cybersecurity breach. No protocol in the world can have any organization prepared for something that happened in 2020 with the pandemic. But whether it's in my own practice or whether it's in the organizations that I have served, this particular aspect has been a fiduciary responsibility that we have acted upon, as I say, both professionally and in my experience as a nonprofit leader.
Thank you. Joseph?
Yeah, it's a very difficult question. I'm a trained physician, but I have some issues with this. Some experience and my view are that, first of all, we have to identify the risk. And we should identify, not only identify the risk, but we see how much impact can cause in your organization and what we can do to reduce the impact and reduce the duration of impact. And gladly, I can report to APPNA members that all the accounts we have in APPNA all are green. We are not impacted by this pandemic because of good planning of whoever running our funds, our organization. They're doing a good job and they're doing all the risk management they're supposed to. I am interested to invest the fund, but not the high risk fund, the low risk fund. And we should see how much return we are getting. And I'm glad that we're getting very good return. I was told last year we have 20% return on our 4 million fund we have in the trust fund for lifetime. 20% is a big deal, it's big numbers. I was looking the reports, we all green and we making earning in thousands. We are not behind, we are not in red. This is a good planning and I appreciate and salute all those people who are running this organization.
Okay, thank you, Joseph. Ji Tayyib, 1 minute.
Yeah, when we're discussing risk management of finances, we can't simply look at it as how well our investments have done. In all honesty, if we look at the returns, the spectacular returns that many people have had in the stock market, even the greatest experienced players in Wall Street will say that this was a completely unexpected situation. To rebound so quickly from such a potentially disastrous situation, this just happened. Nobody predicted that. So to truly safeguard finances, you have to have processes in place at every level, even at the HR level. You could have one single harassment case can wipe out all the finances of a nonprofit organization. And if you don't have a handbook ready on how to follow those or how to deal with those, you're going to be in big trouble as an organization. And this is someplace that I have experience.
Thank you, Tayyib. The next question will go to Joseph. Where do you see APPNA as an organization 10 years from now?
I'm very positive about the positive potential growth of APPNA. I will see it will be different level. I see that NAMA graduate will be more participating in APPNA. My son is also will be American graduate. He finishes DO school. He wants to be psychiatrist. He born in APPNA. He has attended most of the APPNA meeting, and these are the national NAMA graduates are not the deficiency. Is a benefit for the APPNA. I think we are so proud that Dr. Tayyib Rana is contesting, and I appreciate his services, and I hope the more will come and participate, more will join as a member, and I will be the front leader to bring them in, make them APPNA strong, make my wish come true by making 5,000 APPNA members, and that's I'm looking next 10 years.
Thank you, Joseph. Ji Tayyib.
Well, first of all, thank you, Joseph, and I hope I can count on your vote on the election coming up in APPNA. No, thank you for your kind words. I really appreciate that. Where do I see APPNA in 10 years? It all depends on what happens at APPNA 10 years prior. Because if we put good in now, we're going to see greatness in 10 years. So if we can adhere to the vision that I see for APPNA, that is to have credible, ethical, honest, selfless, transparent leaders in position. That trickles down onto the membership and it inspires membership to achieve greatness. And that greatness has no limits, whether it comes to the delivery of healthcare, whether it comes to humanitarian work, whether it comes to education. Honestly, the sky's the limit. And I see APPNA, if we follow what I have just said, as a thought leader, an education leader, an incubator, a humanitarian services provider at levels that will make the American Pakistani community proud for years to come.
Thank you, Tayyib. Joseph?
Yeah, again, I say there's a difference between educator and a leader. I'm proud to say I'm a leader. I'm not educator maybe, but I'm a leader. My opponent, respected Dr. Tayyib Rana, I think he's educator. His role is different. His role is not as a leader. APPNA needs a leader who has a vision, who has track record, who has performed well, and people know his achievements. I respect Dr. Tayyib Rana, and he will be a great strength in the future, maybe as a CME chair committee, and he will produce better result than as a leader.
Okay. Tayyib?
Yeah, Joseph, I welcome you to actually go look at my CV, and please listen to my video so you can learn a little bit more about me, because you clearly don't know anything about me. So when we look at APPNA DMV, we have a rich history in our chapter. I mean, we have so many ex-presidents and incredible experience, but there came a time when the chapter became a little stagnant, and it took leadership to bring that chapter back to the glory that it's in these days. And where did that leadership start? It started with individuals like myself who helped jumpstart that chapter back to where it is. I'm not somebody that ever likes to take credit. You can ask people in my chapter. I feel ashamed that I'm even saying this. But when I hear what you're saying, I have to rebuttal you and say, you are so far from the truth that you clearly haven't read my CV. Nothing in my CV says I'm an educator. I don't publish academic papers. I'm not a professor. I don't have a current academic appointment. But what I am is I'm a grassroots community organizer and worker. And that's what I have been for the last 30 years of my life. So I'm not an educator. I am a leader and I'm a doer. Thank you.
Thank you, Tayyib. Okay, so that's the end of the questions. Now it's time for closing remarks. Tayyib, you are up first.
Thank you, Dr. Tariq. And thank you, dear members, family, and friends. My vision for APPNA is to be a strong, vibrant, and respected institution which serves as a conduit for the success of not just its members and their families, but for society overall. I envision an APPNA that is called upon for significant leadership in areas of healthcare policy and delivery, medical education, advancement of biomedical informatics and technology, and novel approaches to the advancement of science and research. I envision an APPNA where students, residents, fellows, as well as attending physicians find world-class resources to advance their knowledge, skills, and careers. I envision an APPNA whose social welfare and disaster relief efforts become so well respected that they become well-funded through renewable, private, and public sector grants, in addition to donations. And finally, I envision an APPNA where membership is not having to deal with constant conflict, but rather feels great pride in seeing a leadership culture that is truly based upon the culture of service to others rather than service to self. In order to achieve such an APPNA, I would like to expand APPNA's reach and influence through partnering with other successful institutions for various endeavors. I would like to expand APPNA's membership base into NAMA and Caribbean graduates and new, young, fresh Pakistani graduates with novel ideas. I would like to start with myself and set a firm example, as I have already in DMV, of a leadership culture of service, unity, empathy, honesty, and transparency. I would like to boldly explore novel streams of revenue, such as tech incubators, as I've mentioned, where innovators and entrepreneurs can showcase their ideas so they may flourish. I would like to establish a healthcare policy committee or think group that will allow us to present better ways of delivering healthcare to local, state, and federal authorities. By taking such actions, we will not just dream of such successes mentioned above, but we will live for them. As for my experience, look at my resume. I truly believe I have a rich and diverse background in nonprofit 501c3 leadership, both in APPNA and in non-APPNA. As a bonus, my background of business training from the Kellogg School of Management at Northwestern University brings real academic experience along with field experience, which is very important in running large organizations. APPNA is an organization that has all the key ingredients to shine and shine bright. The right leadership and organizational value system will ensure this happens. I hope you will give me the opportunity and honor to serve with your vote. Let's do this together for a brighter APPNA. Thank you.
Thank you, Tayyib. D. Joseph.
Thank you, APPNA family. Assalamu alaikum. And this is a great opportunity to serve you for the last 25 years. I just want to make a note. This is my statement. I'm not reading from a speech. This is extempore. So bear with me. Last 24 years, my journey is so sweet. I met with different people. I met with different leaders of APPNA. Those are my mentors, from Rana Akbar, Javed Akhtar, Hussain Malik, to Nasir Quraishi, Javed Sulaiman, Iqbal Zafar Hamid, all these my friends, including Dr. Paracha, Dr. Sajid Chaudhary. I learn from them each and every time. I'm the person who can take APPNA on different level. I have a proven record to raising money and raising membership. I'm the person who can motivate membership. I can bring more member. I'm the person who can take my APPNA on 5,000 membership. This is my goal, and you will see the difference. I'm the person who can bring people together. I want to develop a culture of agree to disagree. I want to develop a culture to respect to each other. I want to develop a culture that if you have any conflict, instead of going to courts, we should solve with our mutual conversation. If you not agree with that, go to general body. Ask them their help. They will solve your issue. I'm totally against of any lawsuit against APPNA and APPNA member. APPNA needs a leader who is fearless, who can stand up for you, who can tell the truth if it's good for the organization. APPNA, I'm asking you, vote for me and vote for yourself actually to make APPNA stronger, a more vibrant, a dynamic organization, financially sound, so we can deal with this pandemic in future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joseph. So on behalf of Nomination and Election Committee, I would like to thank all the participants, Dr. Tayyib Rana and Dr. Joseph Emmanuel, to be a part of this democratic process in our organization. And I wish you good luck, both of you. And I am very sure whoever will be the next year, APPNA will be in good hands. And thank you very much.
Thank you, APPNA.
Thank you, Dr. Tariq. Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you. Have a good night. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good night, everyone.
Yeah. Good night.